One. Got it. Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. My name is Avery, host of Talking Tech and Voice Acting, and I'm here with Ana Eclipse. Um, this is actually a exclusive interview that I'm putting out for everyone there. And first off, I would like to welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
All right. And as you guys know, she has been promoting her two newest singles, which are both Kill Me Slow and Unholy, which can now be streamed on Apple Music and any other streaming platforms. Um, she has quite the TikTok presence at as of right now that I've checked this morning. But first off, what got you into the music industry?
So as long as I can remember, I was growing up, you're either a Bratz girl or a Barbie girl. I happen to be a Bratz girl. And I was like young in the early 2000s, and Bratz Rock
Right.
Angels, it was popping back then. And that's kind of what got me into rock music. And as I got older, I kind of developed an emo phase, and I got into all those bands when I was a teenager. And it kind of that phase never went away. And it's just from then, that's when I knew I wanted to pursue this long term. So I got into all those classic bands like Pierce the Veil, Bring Me the Horizon, all that good stuff. And I
Right.
kind of implemented the nostalgia of what I used to like into my current music. And I just started this project in September of last year. So it'll be exactly a year that Ana Eclipse has been a thing. But not I've played in local bands as a teenager and like early 20s. And then all of a sudden I just decided, you know what, I think just a personal solo product would be the direction I want to go in.
And now, in regards to your newest singles,
Yes.
what is the meaning behind both Kill Me Slow and Unholy? What inspired you to write them, and what's the meaning behind the song?
Perfect. All right. So as far as I'm going to start with Unholy first because it was the one that dropped first. Unholy, basically I was in a situation, a toxic relationship, and I just felt controlled. I didn't feel fulfilled. And basically the meaning behind Unholy is that person is turning you into someone you don't want to be, like your ugly side, your unholy side, and you're unleashing that unholy side out on them unintentionally, but they're bringing out your ugly side. And that's basically that's the meaning behind unholy. It's basically I didn't want it to get to that point, but unfortunately they had to see the ugly side of me. um and that's the whole meaning behind unholy. As far as Kill Me Slow, it's more of a mental health centered song. I personally struggle with a really bad anxiety disorder. And basically, it's just describing my struggles. But in the bridge of the song, like even in the dark, I'll find it. It basically means that no matter how hard things get, there's always a light. Um, no matter how hard things seem, there's always a way out. Things will always get better. And it's basically, I wrote it because there's a lot of people that struggle with the same things I struggle with. And if I could be someone that shows them that light, that positivity, that means the world to me. So that song is basically, it's a mental health advocacy song. And it's very important to me. I got to say, that's probably one of the most deep songs I've ever written. And I get messages sometimes from people saying that it has really helped them and it's changed their life. And that means the world to me because as an artist, that's the number one thing I want. I want my lyrics to mean something to people. I want people to connect with my lyrics, and I want my lyrics to help them during dark times because music has been a huge therapy for me growing up and currently.
That I When I've listened to both singles myself, I didn't on it. I had no idea that that was the meaning behind, especially for Kill Me Slow. That's I tried to also take a closer look into the lyrics itself. But it was I was more stumped on both. So that's why it was also my next question, because I wanted to hear from you more regarding, the meanings of both. But I do kind of see that with Kill Me Slow, it gives off like similar to Evanescence. Like now I'm not trying, to compare both songs, well, both genres Oh my god. But both artists, basically, well, both your band and Evanescence, because I know Evanescence had done a song called "Hello" and "Like You." Those had more touched upon um the actual theming of grief, knowing that
Yes.
Amy had lost both of her siblings, one at 3 years old, and one of them, I believe, in like not too long ago, actually, I believe. I believe it was through they had lost their battle to mental health. And listening when I've listened to those, that's where I kind of under like where I do understand that situation that the artists they've gone through. But it's times where sometimes the meanings don't come right at you, and where you kind of
Yes.
want to figure it out more. And I know um with Flyleaf it's a different story, as they're more in, I guess, gospel. Well, from what I've heard from others, that they are more of a Christian rock band, but even then some of the lyrics do kind of resonate in a more personal level for some listeners.
Definitely. And that's kind of what I wanted to do for my own music. Like, yes, I wanted to keep the lyrics somewhat vague, just because everybody has different situations going on in their lives. And basically, they can apply Kill Me Slow to a breakup. They can apply Kill Me Slow to other things in their life. It doesn't have to be just my battle with anxiety. I just kind of wanted to make it
Right.
somewhat vague so people can listen to it and be like, I'm going through a shitty time at blank. I can resonate with this.
Right.
And hearing that it has helped people, it's only been out for under 2 weeks. It really means a lot to me, because that was the vision I had for the song originally. And then I know, like, when people experience mental health battles, like especially in the chorus line, the ones I used to know won't see, I'll bring you down with me. I'm personifying the problem, the anxiety issue. And it's kind of like I'm describing the silent battle I'm having. People aren't seeing that I'm going through this internally. And that's kind of like, the lyrics are vague, but they're very deep. So I'm really glad you asked that. It was like, that's a great question, because I like to dive deep into my lyrics and explain.
Right. Now, in your lyric for Unholy, let me see.
Yes.
When you say dragging me through hell, you
Yes.
want to can you give me more of a summary as to what that may mean for individuals in kind of that situation that you had explained?
Honestly, just going through a very terrible relationship. Just feeling unfulfilled, just feeling like you're not heard, just feeling like you're being taken advantage of, feeling like you're taken for granted. That was my hell. And that when I say dragging me through hell, that's kind of what I'm describing. But like I said, I kind of like to keep it vague, because people can apply it to any situation in their life.
Right.
I've also heard with Unholy as well, that's impacted people. And that means a lot to me as well. Just to hear that, like I said, like, that's, as an artist, that's the number one thing. Just knowing that people resonate with my lyrics and they can apply my lyrics to their situations in life. That's a win for me as an artist. Like, seriously.
Now I'm looking here because I know your music is actually listed on Apple Music. Let me
Yes.
see right now. Let's see. It's gonna try and because now, as of right now, you have 3 songs right now. You are on a um, you are on a song with, I think the artist is called Retry or Retry. This was back
He's
in 2022.
yes. You know, he's amazing. He actually, we met through TikTok. And he DM'd me on Instagram and he said, "Oh, your voice would fit this song I'm working on." And I gave it a listen and I'm like, wow, like, this is really cool. And then as the months went on, we kind of connected, we got to know each other a little bit more, and he's a really cool guy. He just dropped a new single with, I don't know if you're familiar with Taylor Barber. He's in
Not
the
really.
to Suffer. He's more of a, they're more on like a deathcore direction. The
Mm.
music I do is a lot so much softer than that. Um, but no, that he's a really cool dude, and I was really happy to jump on that song. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you're familiar with like older Bring Me the Horizon, but the song Don't Go featuring Lights. It kind of has that vibe. So it has like the soft Evanescence style vocals in the beginning and throughout the song, and those heavy, harsh screams. It's a really, really cool mix.
Now I know, because I've seen a lot of your TikToks a lot. Um, where would you categorize, or where would you kind of lean on between either Evanescence? Like, what kind of vibes does Ana Eclipse give?
It's funny because when I first wrote Unholy, I wasn't even trying to go in any direction towards Evanescence or Flyleaf. Once I released the song, a lot of people were comparing Unholy to Evanescence and Flyleaf, saying, "Oh, this gives off Evanescence vibes. This gives off Flyleaf vibes." Um, and that's something that happened after I released the song. I released the song thinking in the beginning, I kind of wanted to do like a female Bring Me the Horizon or Bad Omens type vibe. And the fact that people thought that it reminded them of Evanescence or Flyleaf, it was really funny to me because that wasn't the direction I was going in. But if I had to pick one, oh my goodness, this is going to be a tough one. Um, I don't know. They're both great bands. Like I like them a lot. I guess I listened to more Flyleaf growing up. So I guess if I
Right.
had to pick one, I would say Flyleaf, just because Lacey, I feel like she's influenced kind of my vocal style. Not I wouldn't say musical style in its entirety, but I want to say vocal style. She has influenced me a bit. So if I had to choose one, it would definitely I'm leaning towards Flyleaf.
Now, have you heard of the band known as We Are the Fallen?
I have not, unfortunately, but I can look them up.
That as far from what I know, it is comprised of Carly Smithson, Ben Moody, originally from Evanescence. That was formed actually, I think, after Ben had left Evanescence. As of right now, they've only got one album that was released back in 09 called, well, We Are the Fallen. Um, and most of the songs there, the artist does describe a lot of issues such as mental health, relationships. One of them I think is called I think St. John. It kind of puts a character out there who is in a mental asylum, or well, mental institution, but I guess just doesn't want to be there at all. And based off of the mental institution that is being referred or referenced in the song, I have looked into it, and um, it has since closed down. This was back in it was in originally in the 1800s, late 1800s to the 19th century, where a lot of times kids wouldn't want to be there at all. They would just beg to go back home. I think that's what, from what I've heard from the song, that's what I would interpret. So that's honestly just one of the many things that I've interpreted from many songs, either it be Evanescence, Flyleaf, or even yours, for example. And now I wanted to kind of touch on more band wise.
Okay.
What wanted you to start on Eclipse? What was kind of more the starting point for you to say, oh, hey, let's start this band. Let's put out, a single, find out what the genre maybe. What kind of got you into that process?
All right. So growing up, I was in a bunch of local bands. And it was really cool. I liked it a lot. I even as a teenager joined my local school of rock. So music has always been a part of my life growing up, even as a young child. So music has been my life forever. And basically I didn't like being in a band per se. Like it was cool, but I'm more of a solo person. Like I like to have
Right.
control over everything. And that I feel like for my type of personality, a solo project, I consider it a band because I have instrumentalists in my band, and eventually we're all going to be part of the writing process. Like as of now, I'm the only writer with my producer. But I do want to implement writing with them soon just because I have found people that I connect with and I work well with. But that was a struggle for me in bands before. I didn't really meet people I clicked with. And that's when I knew, okay, in order to be successful here, I might have to start my own project. And I'm really glad I did, because before I wasn't really getting anywhere with my type of personality. I like to have full control. With me, like I've talked to people and they said, "Oh, I could write lyrics about anything." And that's really cool. I actually really wish I had that skill, but everything that I write is from the heart. I need to feel it. I need to feel it to write about it and make a really good song. So that's when I knew that's the direction I should be going in. So I want to say May of last year is when I actually started taking it seriously. And I created the demo for Unholy, and I met my producer for the first time, and I gave him basically the influences that I wanted him to kind of work with, and he sent me back a masterpiece. And I was like, wow, I really found the person I want to work with long term. Like, this is great. He's amazing. So in November of 2022, last year, I released Unholy, and it got some really good it got really good traction. But it didn't start picking up until I want to say 2 months ago. My TikTok blew up, and Unholy, right now it's sitting at over 325,000 streams, which is amazing because it hasn't even been out for a year yet, and I feel truly honored that people like the song that much. And that's my first song, and I was kind of just feeling out things in the beginning because I didn't know where I was going to get with music. I didn't know if I'd release one song and it wouldn't really do well and that would be it. It's really unexpected. Like I didn't know this would happen at all. So that gave me the confidence to release more and write more. And now I'm sitting on a total of 10 songs, and I'm just really excited to share what's next. I'm excited that people are excited, and that's kind of the backstory behind Ana Eclipse. That's how it started.
And I'm now just hearing how many streams Unholy is at. I'm just, oh my gosh. The thing is, I thought it was released this year. I didn't even know it was released last year.
It was released last year. That was my first song I've ever released, and it was really cool because I wasn't expecting anything from it. Here's the thing, like growing up, I was in local bands and I liked that, and then I kind of tapered off a little bit. I worked 2 jobs, and you know how that gets when you work full time and you work a lot, like you kind of put your hobbies on the back burner a little bit.
Right.
And something was telling me, like, pursue it, like just see where it gets you. Like, this is something you've always wanted to do with your life.
Right.
Like, don't just let it sit on the back burner. Like, release something and see if people like it. And sure enough, that's what I did, and it got a really good response. So this is something that I'm pursuing very seriously. um so yeah, that's the backstory behind how this started.
And that's where I kind of agree to how you're putting it, because I've been told, and I've told countless of people that I've worked with at my current job, where if they had had dreams of being in Hollywood, or even in either the acting industry, music industry, whatsoever, I would always tell them, go, like, you can work for a bit of time, still continue to work on that hobby when you're not working, and when you know that you're ready to take on those steps, just do it. Chase your dream. Don't just leave it out there and not touch it. Don't just leave it out there on the back burner, like how you had said.
Definitely, like I agree 100%, because I feel like once you get older and life becomes about making money,
Right.
unfortunately, it kind of seems like sometimes you do leave your hobbies on the back burner, your dreams on the back burner. And that's something I didn't want to do. For
Right.
like, I want to say 2 years, I just was unfulfilled, unhappy. I mean, I was doing some things that I liked, eh, but it doesn't come close to music.
Right.
And
Because
what was that? I'm sorry.
oh, sorry. Because I know myself, I'm currently working at a local Six Flags theme park in my area, and I've been there for about almost 3 years, where I've even got to put down my chances of being a voice actor, where I can do slight impressions of the Looney Tunes characters. I've been putting it off to the side since I've been working there for a while. And college is honestly not my thing, but I'm in college.
It's
But that's where I kind of want to put myself out there, either as a radio presenter, podcaster, even as a voice actor. I still like what we're doing right now. That's one of the things I enjoy doing, and getting to interview upcoming celebrities, even radio personalities. That's what I like doing because it allows me to further my communication skills and what I just enjoy doing as a hobby.
And that's amazing. I'm so glad you're pursuing that because it just happens so often where people they get caught up in work and caught up in life and they kind of leave what they're interested in the past just behind. And that's something I didn't want to do. You know, I see too many people doing that. I even have examples of it in my life. People just liking something and wanting to pursue it, but life kind of catches up and they leave it behind. And that's something I didn't want to do because you only have one life to live. You know what I'm saying? Before I was wondering why I was so unhappy, why I felt so unfulfilled, and it's because I wasn't pursuing my dream. And like I said, whether I have 10 listeners or 100,000 listeners, like the fact that people like my music and they resonate with it and it means something to them means something huge to me. So that gave me enough drive to keep going. I like I said, when I first released that song, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if people weren't going to listen to it and just it would just be something that was on Spotify.
Right.
Just a Spotify page. But the fact that people really liked it and resonated with it, and they even would help me promote it too. Like I see posts on Instagram and TikTok and just positive things about that song. It gave me the drive to keep going. And I'm not saying that, oh, like a positive response from people is the only reason to keep pursuing your dreams. That's not it. But it does certainly help with reassurance that you're doing a good thing. People like what you're doing. And that's what gave me the confidence to pursue this full force.
And even then, before jumping on here, I did announce on my public Instagram what was going on tonight with our interview, and that both of your singles would be premiering on the radio show that I host here, and definitely I will always definitely be able to add it to our playlists, and just definitely get the word out there.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. I really, really
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I appreciate this as well. This is really cool.
I still have not heard back from the advisor for the radio station at my community college. I'm still waiting to hear back, but I will definitely reach out to them. Let me see where I was at. Now, real quick, in regards to um, Kill Me Slow, let's
Yes.
see. I'm trying to find one of the lyrics. Uh, Now, when you said Dance in the Rain basket case, what were you trying to convey there? Because
So
honestly, I
basically,
was a little confused there.
I try to make the best out of life situations, even if they're negative. So when
Right.
I say wallow in the pain and dance in the rain basket case, it honestly just means that even though I'm struggling internally, I still try to make the best out of it. I'm still trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's what that line means to me. People can take that line and just apply it to wherever they want in their life, but that's if you want to dig deep, that's what I meant. I try to be like the glass is half full instead of half empty. I try to
Right.
be positive. So even though I do struggle with certain things, that's what that line means. That even though things seem grim and negative, I could turn a negative situation and turn it into a positive situation. So that basically that aligns with the whole "there's a light at the end of the tunnel" kind of theme I was going for with that song. Another thing is the song is very upbeat, and some of the lyrics are a little grim. So that kind of aligns with "there's a light at the end of the tunnel" as well, because there's the happy upbeat chorus techno little hyperpop vibe in the second
Right.
verse. And some of the lyrics are just like, oh, like I'm going through hell right now, like I don't know what to do. And then some of the lyrics are like, it's gonna be okay, you're all right. um so that's kind of what I wanted to convey, the message I wanted to convey through that song.
Um, I from when I heard it, I just personally love both of them.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
how long now? This is kind of a good question. How long did it take you to write both songs?
Okay, so Unholy, there's two different writing processes for both songs. So Unholy, it's kind of my standard writing process for basically all my songs except Kill Me Slow. That had a completely really weird writing process I'll get into later. But for Unholy, basically what I did was I created a demo myself. That's what I do for basically all the songs I write. I write all the instrumentals, and that I want to say it was funny because I got a MacBook because I was starting a work from home job, and
Mhm.
that's kind of what made me just play around with Logic. And I created Unholy in Logic. Like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. I created it probably within 2 days, the instrumentals. And then for some reason that line, I was getting like, you made me feel unholy. And I'm like, okay, unholy. I like that. I like that. So I took the first line, unholy, and I wrote lyrics on top of all the instrumentals. And once that was done, I found my producer and I sent him the demo. And I just told him basically the influences I wanted. I wanted a little bit of Bring Me the Horizon. I wanted a little bit of Deftones, and then I also told him you can sprinkle in whatever you feel would be fit. I also really like an artist. I don't know if you've heard of her. Her name is Sick Brain.
No, I've never heard of her.
She's really cool. She kind of combines the same, like she has a little bit more techno than I do, but I really
Mhm.
like the direction she was going to, just combining some metal and techno. And I really wanted to implement a bunch of genres into my music as well. So I said, oh, like a little bit of Sick Brain, a little bit of Bring Me the Horizon, a little bit of Deftones, wherever you see fit. And he transformed that demo into something really cool. But the demo still keeps the same feel. It doesn't stray too far away from what I created. And that's what I like about working with my producer, because we both kind of produced it. He put like the little finishing touches on it. But the whole structure of the song that I wrote is still there. That's really, really cool. So that's the process of writing Unholy. It was kind of one of those songs that come naturally. That's something I really like to do. With I want to say like 99% of the things I write, they come naturally. I'm not just sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, like what do I write about? I'm feeling it, and I have to release those emotions through my music. And that's what I like. Even though it took a little bit longer, I think a lot of people were complaining saying, "Oh my gosh, like you released Unholy, like where's more music?" And the truth is, like I have to feel it to write it and just
Right.
create something impactful. And that's really what I want through my music, to create something impactful to help people during tough times in their life. So that was the writing process for Unholy. It was one of those songs that just kind of came naturally. I wrote it probably within a span of 3 days. Um, and then for Kill Me Slow, a little bit of a different story. So there's this artist. Her name is Violent Vera. Have you heard of her?
No.
She's amazing. Her producer, I actually, for some reason, like I came across his page on YouTube, and I found this beat that was for sale, and I loved it instantly. And I DM'd him on Instagram, and we were talking a little bit, and I ended up purchasing the beat. And basically, like, you know me, like I'm not gonna just purchase a beat and repurpose it and put it out there. I like to have my hands on everything I create. So I purchased the beat, but I played around with rearranging certain parts. So I asked him for the stems. I kind of picked the song apart a little bit. I added an extra verse. And then I turned the song down a few keys, and then I wrote lyrics to it. I sent it to my producer, and he transformed it as well. So it was kind of like a 3-person production, which is actually a first for me, because I'm usually just used to producing it myself as the demo and just sending off to my main producer. But since I like this song so much, that his name is Blank Face, by the way, he works with Violent Vera. That Blank Face wrote, I'm like, I gotta have it. And just something about the vibe of the song resonated with me right away. And that's really hard to find, because I usually just like to write the instrumentals myself and resonate with it. The fact that I resonated with his instrumentals meant a lot to me, because that normally doesn't happen. So as soon as that was done, I sent it off to my producer. He created something amazing as usual. And I wrote lyrics, and those came super naturally too, because I just felt inside that it has to be a mental health centered song. And then I want to say the process for that song, it took a couple months. Um, it's probably like the longest process I've had to write music. But I felt like it was worth it. It came out great, and people resonate with it. They love it, and it means a lot to me.
All right. Um, now where can people find your socials and your music?
All of my socials are gonna be at Ana Eclipse Music. Um, and then that's like I said, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Then as far as music streaming platforms, I'm on all streaming platforms. I know people were complaining like, "Oh, you're not on SoundCloud," and for some reason, like I didn't know SoundCloud was that big of a thing. So I had to hurry up and upload everything to SoundCloud, and people are just like, oh, yeah, like it's on SoundCloud now. So yeah, like my music is on all streaming platforms, and to find my socials, it's gonna be the same username, Ana Eclipse Music.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And if you guys would like, oh my God, I'm, uh, you can kind of tell I'm like either nervous or kind of just, I'm not sure how I am today.
I had a bunch of caffeine
um,
before this call, so I'm feeling the same. So,
but again, thank you so much for joining me today. You guys can definitely listen to her music on all streaming platforms. Again, her socials are on Eclipse Music. And keep in mind, at 6 p.m. tonight, her new singles, both Kill Me Slow and I don't know whether to word it new for Unholy, but for both Unholy and Kill Me Slow will be played on LJ Entertainment Radio. Keep an eye out. Again, that is 6 p.m. Central Time, or you can always visit us online at ljentertainmentmedia.com. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, and well, we hope for you to have future six. Oh my God. Great success in the future.
thank you so much. It means a lot to me, and thank you so much for having me. This has been great. This is actually my first interview, so this is really neat. Thank you so much for having me, Avery.
No problem. Again, thank you all for tuning in to our podcast, and have a great rest of your day, and check out On Eclipse on all streaming platforms.